Today, I have an epic showdown between two powerhouses in the Etsy tool game. I'm going to discuss the similarities and the differences so that you guys can choose which option is best for you. It's Alura versus erank. Let's go. Hey everyone, what is happening? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. I am LL, your host and your guide through the mysterious Etsy jungle of selling and growing your business. I am here to hopefully help you navigate that journey, and I'm super excited about today's episode. This is something that people have been asking for, and I get asked questions all the time. What's the best Etsy tool out there? There's a bunch out there now. Is this one better than that one? How is this one? What are the differences? So I'm going to bring you two of the top two, in my opinion, tools, give you the differences, similarities, so that you guys can make the best decision for you. At the end of the day, I'd probably recommend trying them both out to see which one you like better, because there are differences as far as your learning style, the way that you analyze data, the way that you use stuff visually. So you may like something that I am not a fan of, or I prefer something else that you don't prefer. I mean, at the end of the day, it's whatever works best for you. Either of these tools, Alura or erank, will help you grow your business. And disclaimer, I've currently have and use both of these tools and have so for years, so I can stay up to date on the changes and the features for myself, but also for you guys, of course, so I can bring that information to you and always give you the best information out there. And I also decided to be an affiliate with Alura specifically because based on, what I'm going to talk about later in this episode, so you guys can kind of see why. But I'm not knocking erank either. They're both very, very good tools. So it is a win-win pretty much, but there are some pretty distinct differences, and I'm going to break them down for you guys. The first thing I'm going to dive into when it comes to these two tools is the similarities, the similar features, so that you guys know, okay, this is something that I'm probably going to get with whatever tool I choose. So I'm going to break that down first. And then I'm going to dive into the main differences, where that's really where the rubber meets the road, and that's really going to help you make your decision as far as which one is better for you. So let's dive in. These are the similar things, the most common things that are similar between the two. Like I keep saying, not redundant at all for you guys. All right, so the first thing is both tools are mainly used for keywords that you can put in the title, put in the tags, and basically get recommendations, kind of see stats on keywords that you're entering in there, see different stats such as favorites, views, competition, get similar keyword ideas. They both have the option where you can type in one keyword and then it'll give you a list of similar keywords that, oh, maybe I didn't think about that one. I can see those stats as well, which is probably the best way to use those tools is you run out of keyword ideas or you want to see the stats of the keywords that you're thinking to make sure that they're good and being searched for. Because the worst thing is to put in keywords in your listings and no one's searching for them. Therefore, no one will ever find your listings. Therefore, no one will ever buy your listings. So you got to make sure that the search terms you're using are beneficial and are reaching an audience. Doesn't have to be a big audience, but there has to be some type of audience. All right, so both of them are used for that. That's their main goal. The main function is for keywords, which is SEO, search engine optimization. They're both pretty much powerhouses when it comes to using them to do your keyword research, which you should definitely do. You should definitely have a tool to do your keyword research. Don't do it on your own. Don't use the search bar. You can start out like that, but if you really want to start making real progress in your business, you got to do that keyword research. Any business has to do research on their audience, on their niche, and that really comes down to keywords and SEO and all that stuff. And then as you progress in your journey, you're going to learn what keywords are good off the top of your head, good keywords to try off the top of your head. And you're just going to learn your audience and your niche and just be better at selling online. But you got to start somewhere, right? And these tools will help you do that. The next thing that they're pretty much similar, they both have, is a shop dashboard. So when you log into either platform, there is a shop dashboard which has an overview of your stats of your shop. Like number of listings, specific listing stats, sales, all that stuff. So they're pretty similar in that regard, where they will give you a pretty in-depth overview of your own shop. So you can get a really good at a glance view of how your shop is, what are the different stats and different things like that. So that is the same. They both offer that as well, which can be good to see that at a glance view of your shop. The next feature that they both have is they can both analyze competition. So they can both analyze specific shops, and you can punch in the shop name and view that shop's stats, the listings that they have, how their listings are doing, kind of analyze the different shops, see their sales numbers, so you can get a good idea of how your competition is doing. Or on the flip side, if you're thinking about getting in a particular niche, you can use it for that. Is this niche profitable? Are people doing well with this niche? And then obviously you're going to do your own thing within that niche, but you can at least do that research beforehand, which you should definitely do. If you're thinking about starting or opening an Etsy shop, you want to do that research beforehand, so you make sure you're diving into a niche. It doesn't matter as much as competition. Competition is good. A lot of people, that deters them. A lot of competition just means that there's a lot of buyers out there for that niche. And you can easily do that research within both platforms to kind of see what competition's out there, what's selling, how different shops are doing, and all that good stuff. The last thing that I want to touch on that's similar for both is you can analyze specific listings, both shops or both platforms can analyze your listings and give you a score based on the Etsy seller handbook and give you areas of opportunity, things that you want to check out. So it is pretty black and white. What they're doing is they are digesting the Etsy seller handbook, and they're putting that in the form of an algorithm that analyzes your shop. And they'll give you specific scores. Okay, you don't have enough you're missing some tags. You need to add 2 more tags. Here's the number of listings that are missing tags. Add tags. Or your title's not long enough. Or your description's not long enough. Or you're missing pictures. So it's black and white stuff like that, where it'll analyze it, tell you what you need to work on, what you need to do, what you need to improve on. It's all based on the Etsy seller handbook, giving you hints and tips on things to work on. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people go down this road and use it the wrong way. It's misinterpreted because, say it'll give you like a score of a D or a C minus or something like that. It's not a good score, but maybe that listing will be doing well. Maybe you're getting sales. That doesn't mean you should mess with the listing. So sometimes listings do well when they go against everything, that all the best practices that we know are to be true. A listing is dumpster fire and it still sells, it still does well. Don't mess with it. Just because it's giving you a low score doesn't mean that you necessarily have to mess with it. But if that listing is not making sales and it's been up for a while, of course, then tweak it, then mess with it. But if your listing's doing well and it's ranked as a C or D, you don't mess with it. You're messing up a good thing. Just because it's not scoring well as far as this algorithm goes doesn't mean that the Etsy algorithm's scoring it bad. So a lot of times it goes against the grain. There is some gray area. It's not all black and white, so you just have to look at it in that regard and use it as a tool, but it's not the end-all, be-all tool. All right, so keep that in mind when you are using those tools to analyze your shop and your listings. But that is it. Those are the main similar features that I wanted to touch on for you guys, so you know what you're getting with either platform. The next part is going to be the differences, and this is really, really important. This is what's going to help you make the decision of what platform to use. I promise you that. All right, so the first difference I want to touch on is with erank. Both erank and Alura has a keyword tool where you can type in a keyword. It gives you a laundry list, or it gives you stats on that keyword, but then it'll also give you a laundry list of related keywords that are similar, or some may not be similar, but most usually are similar, to get other keyword ideas and stats on those keywords as well. eRank actually has two keyword tools that are similar, but they're also different. So one of those keyword tools analyzes the top 100 listings, ranking for that keyword, and gives you a bunch of data on that keyword. It's search trend data, um, keyword stats, relevant keywords, all that stuff. So there's a lot of data in there that I'm not going to go through, but you'll see if you use that tool. So basically, you can use it to see the trend, search trends, related keywords, keyword stats. The other keyword tool is the keyword explorer that they have, and it gives you similar data but based on all the listings on Etsy. So it's a little bit more not as much data. It's a little bit more simplified. It basically will give you stats on that keyword and then relevant keywords with their stats as well, as far as search trends, competition, all that good stuff. So they are similar. The data will be similar for both as far as keyword similarities, keyword recommendations, keyword stats, but some include additional information, trends on Google, trends within the Etsy platform, different graphs, different cloud maps, different things like that. So you may like one or the other. You may use both, but there are two keyword tools within eRank. Alura, like I said, only has one keyword tool, so it's a little bit more simplified. You can still view keyword stats based on that keyword. It'll still give you recommended keywords that are similar and their stats. Stats such as visits, favorites, competition. But, and this is a big but, Alura's shows you sales, average sales based on that keyword. I love that. Favorites are good, but it's a vanity metric. I don't care if my listing has 100,000 favorites. If it's not selling, who cares? Whereas this tool will show you, okay, maybe it only has 2 favorites, but it has 10 sales. All right, that's a pretty good keyword, I think. Or 100 sales is probably better, right? 10 sales isn't that much if it's a broader keyword. So that's what I love about the Alura's tool over eRank is it shows you actual sales numbers for keywords, and that honestly is all I look at. I don't care as much about competition. I don't care about favorites. I don't care as much about visits. At the end of the day, is it getting sales or not? That is where the money is. That's where I need to focus on. So are these keywords generating sales or not? Now, you can look at competition. You can look at visits as well. Sure, that'll give you some information, but it's just one piece of the information that you can use. So that is why I love Alura's keyword tool over eRank, even though eRank has some more information in there. Granted, Alura, you can see Google Trends as well. So that is implemented in there as the same as eRank. All right, so those are the differences when it comes to the keyword tool specifically. The other difference that I wanted to touch on is eRank has some really good audit features built in to pull reports for listings that are missing tags, missing images, missing attributes. Maybe they only have 1-word tags. You want to see maybe make them 2 words. Alura doesn't have an audit feature in this regard. They have the audit feature where you can audit your shop as a whole and audit listings, but you can't pull a report for all your listings that are missing photos, all your listings that are missing tags. So eRank does get a nod when it comes to their audit features because they're a little bit more robust where you can pull audit reports for specific things. At the end of the day, if you're starting out on the right foot and you're making sure those things are filled out, you're not necessarily going to have to go back and audit them. But if you're like most of us, when we started out, we didn't know what the heck we were doing and our stuff's filled out half wrong, we have to go back and fix it. So it can help when it comes to that, when you got to go back and clean up your own mess because you just didn't know any better at the beginning. All right, so the next thing, moving on, the next difference when it comes to eRank is they have a spotted on Etsy feature. And this basically can be used to see, you can run a whole list of your listings and it'll show you where your listings rank, on what page they rank, for what specific keyword they rank for. So you can see, okay, this listing is ranking on page 1 for workout shirt, which is a pretty big keyword. So that's good. That's good. A lot of people are going to see that. So you can use this report to see how your listings are ranking, but also see what keywords are ranking and maybe apply those to other listings. Now, this comes with a caveat because the spotted on Etsy tool can be misleading. It is basically pulling information, generalized information based on a general profile. I don't think it's your profile. I think it's just a generalized profile of rankings. But when it comes to Etsy's algorithm, everyone's different. Every customer is different. So every customer gets shown different search information, different search results, basically, because it will form. The algorithm will learn their buying behaviors, what keywords they're searching for, what they want to look at. So you can't compare apples to apples when it comes to rank for specific keywords for specific customers, because whereas your listing may show on page 1 for one customer under that keyword, another customer may put in that keyword and it'll show on page 3, page 4. So just because you're ranking on page 1 doesn't mean you're ranking on page 1 for all customers. So view it, with caution. It shouldn't be the end all be all. It'll give you a generalized idea, but it can also be misleading. So cautionate. Take caution when using the Spot on Etsy feature. And with Alura, they don't have anything like this, so you don't necessarily have to worry about it. So this tool can be good, it can be bad. I don't really find it that helpful, but some people may like to see that information. All right. The other thing I wanted to touch on as far as differences with eRank goes is they have some other fun keyword tools built in, such as the ability to create a keyword list and track performance over time, so you can see how the keywords are doing over a certain time period. They also have a list format where you can search 20 search terms at once and kind of see all their data together, all in one big search. You don't have to do it individually. And then they also have a compare tool that shows you trends for up to four keywords at one time. So a little bit different than the 20 at a time. It'll show you trends as opposed to individual stats. I think they both show you individual stats for specific search terms. So you can use those to your advantage if you want to search for a bunch of stuff at one time. You want to look at trends. You want to track trends over time. Alura doesn't have anything like this. You can't do bulk searches like this. And you can't track trends over time for specific keywords. So a lot of people may want to use that. Some people may not find it as helpful. It really depends how obsessed you are with data and tracking, but it can be time consuming. And you can get the same information searching individually usually, but it just depends how you want to use it. So it can save time by doing a bunch of keywords at once, or maybe you're trying to compare keywords and try to eliminate a couple that maybe you want to use as opposed to some that you don't want to use. So those tools could come in handy as well. But those are the main differences that I wanted to touch on initially. And based on what I've said so far, you're probably like, well, Alura's or eRank's probably in the lead or getting the nod for the best out there as far as this competition goes, for the best Etsy tool out there. And they're probably edging out Alura a little bit, right? But the best really is yet to come when it comes to Alura, that I wanted to touch on next as far as the main differences go. So one of the biggest differences that really puts Alura ahead of the game is they have a Chrome extension which you can download and use within Etsy to get real-time data on search results. So basically you download the Chrome extension and then you can use it as you type in a keyword like workout shirt in the search bar in Etsy. You hit the Chrome extension, it'll give you specific listings under that search term, the main listings that are ranking for that search term, and their stats, how many sales they have, how many views they have, how many listings they have. The specific listing will show too, so you can do a little drop down, see the listing, see the title, see the tags, see the pictures, click into the listing, and it'll open it up in another page so you can actually see the listing, actually see the shop. So it is a fantastic way to do on-the-fly research for specific keywords, specific top performing listings quickly and easily. So I love it because it's actionable and super fast. erank doesn't have anything like this. They don't have a Chrome extension. You have to actually log in and go to the website itself, whereas whereas Alura, you do not. You can use the Chrome extension and see a lot of the same great information at a super fast level and use it to your advantage based on how you want to analyze it. Whether you're looking at keywords, top performing listings, titles, all that stuff for competition that is out there. So it's a really, really cool tool that I like, and it is very easy to use. The next thing I want to touch on that Alura has where erank doesn't is a follow-up reminder tool. So this gives you the ability to basically it's a database that allows you to track which customers have left you feedback, and for the customers that haven't left you feedback after a certain period of time, you can send them messages, link it to your Etsy shop, hit a button, it'll populate a predefined message over in your Etsy shop to that customer. All you have to do is hit send. So it'll pre-populate. There's a coding in there where it'll pre-populate their name, their order number, all that stuff. And it's basically adding a layer of customer service, making sure that they're happy with their purchase, and then asking them if they're happy to please leave a review. So it's twofold. Yeah, you have awesome customer service because you're checking on your customer after they've received their item, and then you're asking them to leave a review. This tool single-handedly can get you an increase of 10 to 20% or more reviews than you normally get. On average, there's around a 10% review rate where people will leave reviews. And as you know, or maybe you don't know, the algorithm looks at this. 5-star reviews and the number of reviews are super important to get a boost when it comes to search. When it comes to Etsy's algorithm, they like to see that customers are happy, that they're leaving 5-star reviews, and that will prompt the algorithm to give you a nod when it comes to certain search terms and rankings within your shop and within your listings. So the more reviews you get and the more 5-star reviews you get will help you rank better, will help your shop perform. It's like a snowball effect. So this tool is really, really cool to be able to not only add customer service, but get more reviews, which in return will help you in search. It'll help you rank better so you can get more sales and then even more reviews. So really cool tool, easy to use. You can adjust what your messaging says. You can edit the messages. You can edit the time frame. Super easy to use drop-down list, which will show you everyone you need to message. Again, it links directly to your shop. Hit a button. It'll populate the message to your shop. All you have to do is hit send and then wait for that hopeful 5-star review to roll in. So very cool tool that I highly, highly recommend. The next thing I want to touch on when it comes to Alura is their product seeker tool, where you can look up keywords. So this kind of works like the regular keyword tool where you type in a keyword and you see what populates. However, there's a filter system built in where you can populate information based on what you filter. So this is a great way to search for trends, search for top listings. Like I can type in workout shirt and then I can set it to only show me the listings with over 100 sales ranking for the term workout shirt, to immediately see, okay, what are the top ideas? What's the subject matter? What are people using? How are the people designing their stuff? So you can get good ideas for maybe things that you want to implement in your shop based on specific metrics that you can predefine. So you can do total sales, total revenue, monthly sales, monthly revenue, price, all that stuff, whether it's handmade, whether it's not handmade, to really get super granular with information based on specific keywords. And again, you can use this to see what's trending, what's hot right now, what might sell in the future, what subject matter is doing well. And then you're going to design your own stuff, but you're going to use this data to your advantage to roll out products that could be successful, that could get you sales. So I love the fact that you can get super granular with this. This is a really cool tool. It's kind of a bonus extra add-on to the keyword tool, the regular keyword tool. And the last thing I want to touch on that Alura has that erank doesn't is they have Alura Market. Basically, it's It's kind of like Fiverr. You can hire freelancers specifically for your Etsy business to help you out with different things on there. So they're trying to kind of be like Fiverr in a way where it's a freelance website, but it's more specific to Etsy. So whereas you don't got to go to Fiverr and kind of wade through all the muck, you can basically know that it's going to be geared more towards services for your Etsy business. So I know they're trying. That's a relatively new section. They're trying to grow that. So it'll be interesting to see how that evolves over time. So you can get specific help from people specifically for Etsy. So that is it as far as the similarities and the differences go between Alura and erank. Hopefully that gives you a better idea of what both offer. A couple of final thoughts for you guys. And both tools, like I said before, are very good tools. Either one you use will certainly, if you're using it the right way, will certainly help you grow your Etsy business, because they both have things that will benefit you and benefit your shop if you use them and implement them and take action. My final nod, goes to Alura because of its easy to use formatting. It's very actionable, and the added tools that erank doesn't have, such as the Chrome extension, the follow-up reminder, and the ability to see sales stats for specific listings at multiple level, really kind of sets it apart for me. These tools alone can and have been used to substantially grow my business and other people's businesses. I know they're very actionable, very easy to use, and I just love the way that they are set up and designed. So that's why I'm giving that's why I'm giving the nod to Alura a little bit ahead of erank, even though erank is still a really good platform as well. I would say erank is probably more geared towards people that really love data and the extra insight at a granular level. There's some extra reports, there's some extra tools. Because of this, it's also not as user friendly because there's a lot in there. It's a lot easier to get lost. It's a lot easier to not be able to figure things out because it's not quite as user friendly. You can also get sucked into the black hole of analyzing nonstop, using these tools, running these reports, and then you never actually take action in your Etsy shop, and your shop never improves because you're sucked into the black abyss of analyzing everything all the time. So you got to be careful with whatever platform you use. You can fall into that. I would say it's a little bit easier with erank because there's just more in there. There's more different, more tools, more stuff. Most of it you're probably not going to use. Most of it I don't use. You're only going to use a few main things, but there are some people that probably like those added things, and maybe that's why they would go to erank over Alura. But the other thing too, you don't want to create more work for yourself. If you're doing all these different tools, all these different analyzing reports and metrics and all that stuff, that's going to be a lot of extra work. I like quick, actionable stuff where I can run a report, get the information, and go and implement it. I don't want to spend all day analyzing stuff. I don't want to spend all day trying to figure out what to do. I want the information fast, and I want to go and be able to implement it. And that's where I like Alura. It's super easy to use. It's formatted nicely. You can get the information. The information is very actionable, and I can go and use that and put it in my shop. So that is it, guys. Those are the top two tools that I want to talk about today, Alura and erank. Like I said, both are good. Try out both. There is a link below if you guys want to try out Alura for free. You can go and do that. I know you're probably going to like the tool, get a lot out of it, but I would highly recommend that you figure out which one's best for you. And at the end of the day, just use either one for your business. Make sure you're doing using the information in there to benefit your shop, because it definitely will. I would highly recommend using some type of tool, especially for SEO, for search terms. It'll give you a leg up over your competition. It'll give you the information that you need to know to improve and substantially grow your business. But that is it, guys. I'll be back soon with another episode for you. Have an amazing rest of